Dead Workers Party on Smite, episode 20. Recorded on September 13th, 2013.
I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm Wes Wilson.
And I'm Eric Fullerton.
We'd like to welcome you to the NPR show, Dead Workers Party on Smite.
How's everybody doing out there tonight?
So good to have you here.
We have a guest in the studio tonight.
Do we really?
Which is Mr. Monkey.
We got Afro Monkey in the house tonight.
Once again, I don't know any of these people.
I got compliments on you last week. Like, people were like, that guy's cool. I like him. I'm glad he's on the show.
I saw one comment on YouTube that was Afro Monkey is awesome.
Yes. That's
That
the one
motivated me
comment
to
that
come
I
back.
inflated to all those people.
Yeah.
So he's back here for you, guy.
Yes.
Well,
you.
Good.
So what are we going to talk about? We got a lot of cool stuff that happened.
There
this
is a
week.
lot that happened this week. I think things are going well.
Yes, sir. They are.
I pooped a bunch this week.
That's what it says here in the
It
document.
says in the show notes.
Yeah. Now, I do have one announcement to make. I made level 30.
Oh, yeah.
Finally. Yay, got level 30.
Yeah.
Got my cocodemon skin. So,
Cocoa
yeah.
Demon.
Cool.
So now you can die a lot with the Cocoa Demon skin on.
I know. That's true.
That's true.
I've been trying to level up my Freya to level 1. That was going to be my 7th one, but I got distracted. Got distracted by Artemis.
Artemis. I hate Artemis.
I started playing Artemis in the what was it? The all AD one that we had recently. It was the daily.
Today, I think.
It was all AD.
And it was fantastic. No, that was yesterday.
It was yesterday. It was like Thor and Artemis and
Neath and basically all the characters that are awesome.
yeah. And
Okay.
it was like I remembered that I like Artemis. I really do. And I like her way more than Neath, and I don't really know why.
Blasphemy.
I do. And
she has no dash or get out of the way or
no,
anything.
but she
Boring.
doesn't need it.
Boring.
Because she's got
She
the
did.
boar, and she's
Yeah.
also got that number 2, which is the super fast pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
And I love the Artemis pew pew. I love it.
Her poo-poo is awesome.
She can pew pew better than anybody in the whole game, as far as I'm concerned. Because except for Kronos, Kronos can pew pew pretty good too.
Oh, yeah.
But so you're sitting there, and like somebody comes running at you, and they think that they're doing fine, but then you hit number 2 and you go pew 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 pew, and you hurt them
And you
like
break half of them.
badly,
Yeah.
like badly, and it's the best.
That's good stuff.
So like I think Artemis or Agni are going to be my next character to level.
Okay, cool. I like Agni. Two-headed freak.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I've been trying to level up Chenga because I feel like I'm so close.
Yeah.
But then I play, like 10 matches with y'all and lose all of them. And then I don't want to play
We've been
anymore
doing
because I'm
good,
kind
I
of sick.
thought.
Yeah.
Me and Eric have been doing really well the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some really good
epic
games
matches.
once we started. And maybe we talk about this
Communicating.
later. Communication.
Yeah.
'Cause I raged on my friends and
Here,
I felt
let's
bad.
talk about it right now.
Let's do it.
All right,
Let's do it.
so what happened?
So we were playing a match, and it was kind of like this thing where it wasn't even just no one was talking. It's like people are talking about like U.S. Weekly or something, like
Yeah.
nothing game related.
Nobody in this group would talk about U.S.
I think we're talking about
You need a better example.
I think we're talking about Def Leppard's
you go.
one-armed drummer.
We were talking about the old spinny drummer.
Yeah,
You have the
that's
drum kit that spun around.
That's
Yeah.
more like it.
And so we were losing. We were starting losing, and nothing makes me angrier than playing a clash that shouldn't be clearing waves,
Yeah.
but stuck clearing waves because everybody else is just, I'm going to say it, dicking around.
Right.
understand.
Right, exactly.
And I don't mind dicking around. That's why I smurf. Right? Like, that's when because I don't want to care. But otherwise, I have this, like, innate, like, rage that builds when I feel like it's just a waste of my 30 minutes. Because no one cares about the game and no one's doing things right. And so I kind of was just like, if we don't learn to communicate, we're not going to get any better. And
Exactly.
it's just kind of like, everybody's just kind of like, right? And I'm trying to like kind of apologize at the same time because I'm like, I'm sound like a dick and I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to yell at my friends for sure. But then it was like magic.
Yeah.
Everybody started calling where they were, what was going on, following this, and we just came back and we smoked the next 2 games, like no problem. And it was just like, it was almost like a light went off, I think, with everyone.
It was an epiphany because everybody was silent. It was all awkward, But me and Brent, we've been friends for many years, and and then out comes something. I was over here doing this thing and that thing, and that's basically an excuse. And he was like, well, if you're over there doing whatever, just call it out. Like, whatever's happening, communicate and say it. If you're over on the left lane messing around with Raw by yourself, doing a little solo game, having a little mini game, or having a little...
playing grab ass.
A little grab ass.
A little sex party
Little
with
Apollo
Raw or Thor.
Raw. Yeah, right.
Then tell me. And then...
Then I can come grab some ass too.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, so nobody's mad at Brent for being angry. We were like, thank you. So then from then on, everything it was like a podcast almost at that point. Everybody was just talk. Okay, I'm going back. Okay, I'm going here. Oh, everybody focus Hades. Everybody. And then everything worked out. It was beautiful. It was an orchestra. Everything worked, and then we won. And we're like, let's try this again. This is like a new superpower that we have now.
Talking to each other.
Yeah, like just and it's not annoying that somebody's like I don't give a crap if you're going back and buying boots, or I don't give a crap if you're buffing. We do give a crap. Just say it.
Yeah.
Say it loud, say it proudly.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't help you, it may help someone else. Or it may just keep you in the spirit of talking. Like, you're almost doing a Let's Play, right? Like, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm explaining to you what I'm doing.
Commentary, right?
There's also the fact that, okay, and I do this all the time with Neith when I'm playing. People are doing stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm out of mana, or, oh, I need to buy something else. And I'll just run back to base and start buying stuff. But I'll never tell anybody what I'm doing.
VVB, baby, VVB!
And I feel bad after the fact because I'm like, as I'm buying stuff, I see these such and such has died, such and such has died. And I'm like, oh, wait, I probably should let them know that I wasn't there to help.
Yeah. Also, like,
timing old.
If you see somebody alone, let them know they're alone, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hate that. Like, I'll be playing Bacchus, and I'll jump in, and I'll be like, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden, I'll be like, there is no one with me.
Exactly, especially a tank, because this happened with Brent. You're playing Sobek. You went in for a flip, and then something happened and got our attention.
I missed the flip.
Oh, you missed the flip. And then we're like, oh, well, he missed it. He must be coming back. Well, he didn't. He thought everybody was there to back him up.
Yeah.
He's a tank. He's looking forward. He's not looking back. So then he gets killed, and he's like, where's the team? And we're like, oh,
we're back here.
I'm back here doing this. I'm back here reading U.S. Weekly. I'm on the internet. So he
and
was
that
like,
one
just
was
tell
actually
us.
just as much my fault as anyone else's because I never explained. It was just kind of in my head. Well, if I miss, everybody's going to come in and crunch this.
Yeah.
But I never said that.
And
so it's not like anybody should know.
I remember that exact moment, and it was like one of those you said going in, and then you went in immediately. And I'm like, I'm back by the base.
Yeah. I'm going shopping. I'm at the mall.
So, I mean, that's two big things, like communication and B, like, this isn't LOL. Tanks can't see behind them unless they turn and look, and that's not good for a tank to do usually.
Right.
So you're their eyes. So you got to help them by talking, let them know.
Yeah.
And like Wes said, like, there's nothing like being a tank and being alone all of a sudden and having no clue. Like, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'm alone, and then I can back out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to be a shy tank. That's the opposite of really kind of what you want to do. You want to get in there and mess with people so that they have to turn and face you and fight you instead of your friends who are the ones who are really going to kill them.
Yeah.
And
you want to be in everybody's face. You want to be annoying. You want to be everywhere. You want to be 50 Cent.
Yeah.
So I was... because I'm just saying, like, I was surfing Netflix the other day, and I'm like, wait, 50 Cent is in this movie? Oh, he's in this show? He's in this movie? Oh my God, he's everywhere. He's in the news. He's making this record. He's a tank.
Okay, I'm gonna start drinking now on that one. Catch up.
So, anyway.
I want to go next simply because mine is a continuation because my epic comeback story actually was the same game that Brent was talking about. Because early on in the game, when he said, oh, we're going to lose this because we're not communicating and everything,
Right.
I said, you don't know that. We've come back from worse than this.
Yeah.
And he asked how often. I'm like, well, not often.
Truthfully.
I'm like, this specific team has come back from that big of a deficit?
Because we were down, over 100 points?
Over 100
Yeah, over
points,
100
yeah.
points, yeah.
And I'm like, no, don't give up. Because I've seen it flip and go the other way.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it was me, Brent, Eric, Def. I think that was it. But anyway, we got within 9.
I think 29 points.
No, it was like less than that. It was like 9. Like we.
No, I think you're making it up, but I'll go with it. 9. So we were within 9 points.
We were within 9, and we lost, admittedly.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Brent was right.
But still.
But it was an
But
epic
still,
push.
You were right, too.
But it wasn't as bad as it could have been, and that was one of the best matches I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Because we did, after that, we were communicating, we committed, and we came back. And it was like they were just as unsure if they were going to win that as we were at that point. Because we very well could have gotten 2 kills and won it.
Yeah.
It was 2 clans.
Yeah.
You fought
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was two
it was 2
clans.
different clans.
So people have worked out. Okay, so they came out and told how their matchmaking system works. We talked about that last week. And it appears that there's people kind of using that knowledge to basically go in as one group.
Yeah.
So basically, because how it works is they pair up the 3s and 2s, like early on.
Uh-huh.
So like if you go in at the same time or something, then you're a 3 and a 2. You've got a good chance of getting in there together.
Oh, right.
Now, it may have just been lucky, but because it was like something DB and then something else DB. So it was like sub clans almost, unless they
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
happened to be, jerk DB.
I mean,
and
the
jerk-
Have you guys
roster-
thought about joining the clan again now that there's like no evidence that there's a clan bias?
I don't know. Is there evidence yet?
No, there's no evidence that there's any kind of a clan bias for being in a clan.
I would have to read that statement again.
Okay.
I don't mind one way or the other. Honestly,
Yeah.
I left it and haven't even thought about it since.
I mean, for most of us, since we just play kind of either pickup games or if we're playing in a group, it's both DWP and Game All Night and other groups, but it's all of our friends and we're all playing together.
Yeah.
The fact that we're not in the same clan really doesn't hurt us.
Yeah, but it also sucks. Like I wish we were all in the same clan.
Yeah,
and that's something we'll talk about later. There is some. I saw a comment this week on that, so I want to mention that.
But
Yeah.
also, I've been neathing it up again
Nice.
because High Res said it was okay for me to play Neath all the time. They said in matchmaking, if you pick another god that's not the one you normally play, you're screwing yourself. So I took that to heart, and I've been playing Neath a lot. I hit level or god rank 4 with Neath today.
Nice.
I learned my role with Neath. My role is both damage dealer, but also lifesaver. I've been doing a lot of when I see someone running and they're trying to get away from someone, my ultimate goal is to root them and
Yes.
stop them from killing my teammate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 And that was one thing that people were really doing well. I'd be like, dude, I'm about to die, save me. And I would turn around because I'm in front. And like my team was in this like semi line that was just kind of weaving around me, getting in front of them so they couldn't attack me. And someone like blocked the Neath in the same hit. And that's what you got to do. Like that's teamwork. It's
Yes.
like,
And somebody named Freya likes to pick up people. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Like the role of Neath, I think, both as the sniper and, you know, taking people out when they're just got a sliver of health, but also that hang in the middle, wait for somebody to get in trouble, and try to save them if you can. Yeah. That's been, and actually I've gotten a lot more kills since I've started doing that, because the person who is attacking your teammate usually isn't, like, they're blind to anything else that's going on.
Well, and I agree with you, because like I'll be over like next to their base as Bacchus, because I found that in a lot of these pickup games, nobody will want to play tank, so I'll volunteer by playing Bacchus, and I will be all the way by their base. And then I'll get down to maybe a third of my health, and I'll turn around and I'll start running for my base. And there will be one or two people chasing me, and their whole goal is to unload their cannons at me. And I'll make it all the way back to my base, and then I'll get killed, and I'll look, and no one will have attacked those people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're missing an opportunity.
Yeah.
Here are some people who have nothing on their mind but killing me. You kill them first.
I mean,
Like, I'm doing my job as the tank, keeping their focus off you, and I'm raging on the other side. Like, why are you attacking their tank?
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there going, I mean, literally, I've killed at least a dozen people today because they were focusing on.
That was before we started the show. Like,
Yeah.
just down the docks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mad.
But at least a dozen people today who were so focused on the person that they were chasing that they completely ignored anybody who was attacking them. And they did not realize that their health had gotten so low.
Yeah.
And they were easy pickings, basically,
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
Like, some of them realize, oh, my health is really low. I need to either, you know, teleport or whatever, flash out. But most of them don't. They're like, I got to kill him. All I need is my ult up and I can kill him.
And that's just it. Like, that's the bait, is that so many people will go in, and I do it too. I'm guilty of it as anybody. If I have my ult ready as Freya, I will follow anyone into their base to kill them. But like, the key is knowing that people are doing that and like taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I will watch like people charge. They'll have like 5 like normal mobs on them, beating on them, and they'll still be focused on that hero. And you're like, no, everybody, look at that guy. He's a dick. Kill him.
They don't want to fail. I mean, you know, many people will follow you inside the base. They're like standing in the rear of the base, like shooting you.
And
I do that
actually,
sometimes.
I've learned to just turn around, you know, like I know to just back up. I'm like, okay, it's not about my score. It's not about me.
One of my favorite things to do, especially with Neath, is to, right as I'm running in the door and they're chasing after me in range at the turret, is to turn around and root them and then backflip into the base.
That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The old backflip.
Yeah.
See, like, to me, there's nothing like getting that kill when you know they think I'm safe. I'm going into my base, and they're about to run through that door, and you like stab them as Loki, and they're like, you're dead.
or
It's my favorite kill.
in the new god,
Thanatos,
yeah,
Death Boy.
I found out that when he flies up in the air and Neath shoots her arrow at him right before he launches up, the arrow will follow him until he lands.
So
Sweet.
it's funny watching them fall too, because like as Cupid, I play nothing but Cupid now. I went from Neath to Cupid, and so I'll pop them with my one with the DOT, the heart bomb or whatever. And then the bomb will explode as soon as he lifts up, and it'll explode and he'll die right as he's ulting, right? He's like, boom, and he'll die and he'll float right back down and then die. And I think you saw it happen once. And it was almost it was like a slapstick comedy.
Yeah. But also, especially today, I ran into one of my biggest pet peeves, and that is disconnectors.
Yeah.
Your team is losing, sometimes not even by a lot, and you're like, screw this stuff. I'm disconnecting them, whatever.
Yeah.
All you're doing is gaining a penalty for yourself for disconnecting. People possibly penalizing you by reporting you. And then really, because if you just close the process on the computer and go back in, it's just going to put you back in the same game. So the only way to really disconnect is to go through and say, leave this match, and then you're getting the penalty. I don't understand it. Like either F6.
It might be smurfing later.
Well, either F6 and surrender, or if your teammates don't want to surrender, just tough it out.
Yeah.
Don't make it hard for...
And I actually had somebody that like listened to the show who added me, invited me to a party, queued us up for a conquest match, started sucking, and DC'd.
What? Really?
Yes, I had someone do that to me, and I was
What
like,
was her name?
I'm not going to say. But I was like, really? I was like, you got me in this freaking conquest match in the first place.
Wait, was that the one we were playing together?
No, it was just me and him.
So there was another one we were playing where it was Conquest, and they were midding, and they'd asked to join our team or whatever and play. And I think we were streaming. There was someone, maybe you were playing with me, so it was some of us, and then they were on Skype with us.
Yeah.
Or maybe Vent or TeamSpeak or something. All of a sudden you hear like his mom or someone coming and go like, we're going to the store. He's like, right now? Yeah, we're going to the store. And then all of a sudden he like disconnects, no longer in Skype or anything. And it was like,
but that's different than disconnecting because your team is losing.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
because
They're
real
not
life got in
rage
the way.
quitting.
right.
Yeah.
The game just started. Like
Yeah,
we're
and
total
I-
dicks
yeah.
at that point, right?
Completely understand, but it's different than disconnecting because you're losing.
Okay.
Right.
Let me just describe to you that I'll make this as short as I can. I'm in this game with this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am Freya, and I'm like, I'm going right? And I go running right. And he goes, I'm going right also. And he was playing Hebo, I think. Okay? And that's fine. I'm like, Freya and Hebo, that's not a bad team up. We can do that, blah, blah, blah. So
You can put people up in the air.
then the person who, nobody went mid. Nobody. And so people are like, Hebo, go mid. Hebo, go mid. And then, he started trying and failing. And then, he started, there was some jungling. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, fine, I'll go mid. And so it's Freya, I go mid. And of course, I'm getting my ass beat because Freya's really not that good of a mid carrier.
Yeah.
And so then everybody's complaining at me because I'm sucking. And I'm like, look, I picked my lane, you jerks. You know?
Like they told you what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he disconnected, and meanwhile there's this jungle. And next thing, oh my god, it was the worst roll. Oh, it was horrible.
But my moral of the story is after our game, our almost epic comeback. You don't know what's going to happen, so stick in there. Don't just disconnect.
Yeah.
And also, if you're not that patient to wait and see how the game's going to play out, uninstall the game. That's my advice to you.
No. Rage on your team until they change their ways. This is the moral of the story, people.
Yes, be a douchebag. Be a douchebag.
You can make a change in more than one person at a time by raging on your entire team. And when they change their minds and win, you say, aha. Now you see. Right?
But I do have a suggestion about disconnects, but I'll wait till suggestion.
I think, well, yeah, because we were talking about something similar earlier about surrendering and stuff. Like, if you surrender, I don't think you should get any worshipers.
Yeah.
None.
Or if you don't surrender, you get more worshipers than if you do surrender. Make it so
give it a
that
bonus.
surrendering is a penalty, basically.
Yes and no, because you can't surrender within a certain period of time.
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes, yeah.
So you got to play the game for 10 minutes before you can surrender.
And albeit, so that's why I say, if you surrender, get one worshiper. But if you don't surrender and you tough it out and try at least,
you might get 2.
yeah.
I still think it's just not a right way to do it. I don't think it's a good judge of like a player's skill with it. So it's just kind of this arbitrary. Did you get locked in with some dipshits or?
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you get locked in with some dipshits, it's not necessarily your fault.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so like now you're going to walk away with 1 or 2 worshipers because you got screwed on the queue thing.
Yeah.
Right?
But on the same side, the people who are frustrated and disconnecting, which, as I've made clear, I hate disconnectors. But in some cases, it's not necessarily their fault. And also, it's the simple fact that some disconnectors, it's not because they're losing, it's because their internet sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to penalize the people who just have crappy internet along with the people who are disconnecting because they're losing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. In LoL, if you were gone at the end of the match, then you were auto-reported. Which I think that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
and everybody's sitting there going, "Report them! Be sure to report." And I'm like, "Look at their name; it's red. That means they're auto-reported at the end of the match. No one needs to report them." But I think then they could look and see what was his ping.
yeah.
In that match.
Yeah.
Oh, he had a horrible ping. It's not his fault.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing that makes me feel bad, because like in the last 2 days, I've reported more people in Smite than I think I have the entire time I've played Smite.
Try this new tactic. I'm going with a new one instead of reporting. I add them as my friends. And then I queue up with them, and then I disconnect. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really do that. But
I like that technique.
But
we did. There was that one that was raging on Eric, and I added him as a friend and played a few matches with him, and he was
Actually-
raging on those people.
yeah.
a match today that me and Eric played, it was so messed up. And it was funny because Eric was so excited about this match because everybody but one person on our team was all wearing their gold skin, and Eric freaking loved it.
All gold, baby.
And like and they were really, really aggressive. Like really aggressive. Like me and Eric were like, "Whoa, these guys! I don't think I'm aggressive enough for these."
They were
guys.
going
They're
nuts,
really
man.
aggressive.
They were going under the shirt.
A lot of testosterone.
And at one point, they kept overextending. Like they would chase everybody back to their base, and we're playing an arena. Chase everybody
And
back.
kill them.
Yeah, and kill a bunch of people, but then they get in a bad spot and they'd have to run. And at one point, they're running, and Eric throws up his ult as his Cupid,
Yeah.
and one guy goes, "Oh, great ult, Cupid! You didn't hit anybody."
Yeah, well, he was like, awesome. He was like, awesome ult, Cupid. And that was it. And I was like, VVT. And I was like, thanks. Because I have the stupid voice pack, which I love. I was like, thanks. And then after that, he was like, you didn't hit anything. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, well, I didn't want to explain anything. I just replied with a lol, I think. But like, honestly, I threw it down to save the guy because
if anybody was following him, it would have stunned him.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it has a slow until it pops. So, like, I threw it down to save our tank, and it did save the tank, and he didn't die. Of course, I didn't kill anybody with it, but, like, I mean, it was on cooldown. I mean, it was already there, and I wasn't going to use it anyway.
Absolutely.
But, anyway, so the guy made fun of me, whatever.
And it's like, don't.
What was his name?
Well, I do that sometimes with Freya too. Like if I haven't used my ult in a little while and nobody is hurt, rather than never use my ult, sometimes I'll just jump up in the air if a bunch of people are clumped together, and I'll try to do a bunch of damage to them all together.
Yeah.
And I
It's better
probably
than not using it.
right
I mean,
because it's a big AOE and I can use it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if, like, on Assault, like, if everybody just came out and dumped their ults immediately, if they would put them in a better situation, like, you automatically get the other team half health, and they're all having to fight from that point. Maybe that's more than saving your ult for that perfect situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned in the last couple of days, because I've been, like I said, been playing Neath a lot.
No, wait, you're playing Neath?
Yeah.
Wow.
All Neath, all the time.
But I've been finding a lot of matches where there are not a lot of prime targets for Neath snipe. And I'm like, well, that guy's his health is too high for me to take out in one snipe. But what I've been doing is doing a snipe anyway and stunning them
Yeah.
and letting the other guys kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's totally valid.
And it's been working out well. I've been getting mad assists from that. And on the rare occasion where I think, oh, he's not low enough to take him out, I kill him. And I'm like, oh, well, kill.
Yeah, totally.
Well, very cool. Well, we also have some news this week. Let's go ahead.
Oh wait, I still had a little thing I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead.
Oh, is this your rage?
Yeah.
Oh, talk about the rage.
I'm not the only rager.
So okay.
Hey,
I witnessed this,
I
too.
raged a bit.
So I'll run through it real quick. Okay, so my Neath is level 5. Although I'm not playing it a lot because I play with Evermugger over here, who's playing
understand.
Neath all the time.
Just keep your hands off of Neath.
But I'm loving Cupid, level 2. With him, he's great. He's cool. He's fun. Oh yeah, all gold teams are totally awesome. If we play arena together. Put on your gold.
I
we
like
go
it.
in there all gold, and we just own, and it freaks them out.
Well, it's the opposite of the Freya thing. My Freya fancy shiny blue skin I don't like using because it draws too much attention. But if
Yeah.
everybody's
If
gold,
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying, because on that team where it was 4 golds and 1 regular
Shablanc
Shablanc
didn't have a freaking gold.
God,
But-
that
what a
guy,
loser.
he's a
But the reason why you wouldn't want to use your gold is because it draws attention to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
But
it's kind
if
of
everybody's using your
kind of
gold,
tacky. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's a team. It's a uniform.
Yeah.
We're the X-Men, you know?
Don't be, so don't get legendary. We're
yeah.
gold and blue.
Yeah.
that's all right. Still mostly gold.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. Enough about the gold. So what really makes me rage lately is people wanting to get buffs in the arena before the minions spawn.
Yeah.
So this can go terribly, terribly wrong. Okay. So you go in and everybody focuses on these creeps on the left lane. Meanwhile, we're losing health. We're losing mana. We're losing time. Basically, the other team has already killed 1 wave. Now we have to play catch up. We have to go and now defend 1 wave of minions, which now brings the opposite team to our base. Now they're next to our base. Now we're defending. And most of the game is going to be playing defense. Now that's okay. You can play defense, but you're kind of on the losing side there playing defense. You're not in the mid. You're not
one
pushing.
Even worse for you, because a match I played before I started getting ready to come here tonight, the mobs on the side, the creeps, kept resetting. So we'd attack,
If somebody backs up too far.
and someone would back up too far, and they'd reset, and then we'd attack, and someone would back up too far, and they reset. I used half of my mana trying to help some guy to get a buff that I didn't even want.
Yeah.
And
It may not really make a difference at level 3.
yeah. So I ended up being like way behind. My build was totally screwed up because I kept having to go back before I was ready to go back.
Yeah.
It totally threw me off, and that was a horrible game.
Yeah. So it feels like the getting buffs early in the game is more of a handicap.
Disagree.
I'm totally open to ideas here. I'm saying that most of the games where people want to get buffs before minions spawn has hurt our games.
I
so I
will
don't
say,
know.
I'll say this: if you can get 3 people on a group of minions to get a buff, you're fine.
And 2 on minions.
And 2 go out into the middle, and it needs to be AOE people and things that can handle mid-type activity.
right.
But if you can get a few brawlers and a couple of assassins over to take care of a group or 2 and get that mana buff for Poseidon or that damage buff for Fenrir, I think that really helps that first big, solid 5v5 battle.
Okay. So you're saying split the team up.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people that get angry and go, no, you come here and you help me get this buff. I want the entire team helping me get this buff.
I just
Well, also
Okay.
we had there's a match because I remember you raged on this, and it was a specific. The guys over there hit the minions, and the whole other team is just coming down on them, right down that lane, and we're all like, dude, back out. No, he's just sitting there killing the minions, and you're like, I'm glad you got the buff because you just died and lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of use, and now we're 4v5, and the wave's been pushed.
Yes.
and you just screwed us. So
Well,
Yeah.
The thing is that so many people want that buff at the beginning of the match, and they either get themselves down so low in health getting it. Like, if you're the one that wants the buff, then you're the one that engages and stays in range to make sure that it doesn't reset.
Yeah.
No, but that's just it. You need to be smart when you go and get the buff. Okay, you need to send over a tank. You need to send over some kind of, and a couple of DPS. If you're just sending over a bunch of DPS people, yeah, somebody's going to end up being hurt, especially if you only have two people trying to get the buff. No,
like a Loki and a Callie or something. It's
yeah.
like, yeah.
But I've
that's
been on
lame.
several pickup teams where all we were either DPS or, we didn't have a tank.
yeah.
So it's like, if we don't have a tank, then if you want the buff, then you need to be the one that keeps the mobs engaged to get that buff. Because I'm not going to do it. I'm Neath. I'm not necessarily paper thin, but I'm squishy. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to take the damage.
And I'm
'cause
Cupid.
I know
I'm
I
like, I
can't
don't
take
want
the
that.
damage.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll go as Chunga.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
Except for 50 Cent.
50 cents
Who
a
apparently
tank.
has time for everything.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
And it's like his Chunga, like I like getting the blue buff because having the mana, pouring into you really helps.
Yeah.
But like the last match I played, and like Hercules is over there getting the blue buff, and I'm helping him, thinking, oh, he's gonna drop it and let me grab it. No, he grabs it, runs off, and I'm like, I'm the one, and that's when I raged and said, fine, I'm not freaking healing you then. And so
Yeah.
I wasn't healing him the whole match. I was like, screw you.
Well, and
Don't
and
tell you
that's
when
my
people
thing.
beg you to heal them? I'll get
It's-
like, Cupid, come on, heal something. Heal
Or-
me.
yeah.
I'm like, dude.
When people start like telling you how to play and
Yeah.
stuff, like you're like, unless you're watching my screen and you know what's happening to me and what I'm going through, then you can't tell me how to play because
Yeah.
you're not in the situations. Like I had some guy, I was playing Odin. Hey, I hated playing Odin, and he's here telling me get more people in your ring, and I'm like, it's not like
easy
I
to
can
say
always
that, right?
plan that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and then sometimes I don't want a bunch of people in there with me.
Well, one guy that I might be able to guess.
Well, and like with me, like I would love the mana buff, but I'm not going to push everybody in the team
Yeah.
at the very beginning of the match where it's very critical to establish how the match is going. I'm not going to push everybody to do that because I want the team to succeed. Because if the team succeeds and we win, I get more worshipers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm of the opinion that if three people go over and you've got some people in the middle who have AoEs and can basically fight the minion hordes without losing too much ground, then going for buffs is good. But if I see one guy over there and he's somebody lame, like if Loki runs over and he starts fighting mobs by himself, I'm like, you go right ahead. I'm going to be here in the middle.
Oh,
And see, what I've been doing is I'll go after we talked about this.
Yeah.
I go over and I'll throw my 2, maybe my 1 on the buffs. And after that, I might even do a second buff sometimes. But after that, I go to the middle and I start killing minions.
Yeah.
Because I know every wave of minions I kill, that's 1 point off. Well, when we're playing arena,
Yeah.
that's 1 point.
Remember that
off the
game
clock.
where you won?
I
With
won.
the-
I won at least
epic.
3 matches in the last 3 days by killing minion waves.
Yeah.
By
So-
getting that last.
So we got
point
one.
through
So we
minion
got 1
waves.
point, right? And everybody's over here fighting and going crazy. It's like,
And here's
we got
me
1 point
just-
to win. He's over there by himself. Afro Monkey is by himself killing minions. That wins the game, right? So for those people who are listening who might not know, I'm sure everybody knows this by now, but in arena, if you kill a whole wave of minions, you get a point, or you get a point taken off. You get a ticket, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need to kill anybody. You
Yeah.
just need to
Yeah.
kill the
If
minions.
if it's a 5-4 game, just wait out the 4 waves and kill the waves.
Yeah, if you have only 5 tickets left, that's 5 waves of minions.
Yeah.
That's all. You don't need to kill anybody. Just defend. Just be safe,
And
people.
And I've been in so many matches in the last, because I've played a lot the last like 4 days. I've been in so many matches where it's like people who will go and it's like a 5-4 match and they're like, oh God, we're down. We need to do something. And they'll start just going after people, just wiggly piggly. And I'm like, what are you doing? Just kill the minions. Kill the minions.
Yeah.
That's a point. They only have 5 points. That's 5 waves. Just play very defensive, kill the waves, and we'll win.
Yeah. Simple as that.
I'd say screw it. Go get a tower. Put this baby to bed.
Oh, nice.
Actually,
Right.
watching the unicorn horn. I was kind of wanting somebody to kill the tower just to see if you guys would continue going into their base.
Okay, we need to move on. We've got a lot of stuff to cover.
Oh, sorry.
We do have a lot of
Talk
stuff
about this
to cover.
all night. All right.
Okay, so
Smite news.
we had some stuff this week. One of the big things was Athena's art direction. A lot of people were upset at it going into a little more busty, pornographic.
And actually, I got a message from Nivacaris. I don't know if you noticed, but Nivacaris made a post on the Smite forums about how it's not necessarily that there can't be risque outfits for the goddesses, but there should be some more sedate ones as well. You know?
Yeah.
Can we have some options to have non-risque Neath costumes? Or, you know what I mean?
But I want my Neath costumes as risque as possible.
I understand. I understand. But the issue is, can people put some clothes on if they want to? And and Nivacaris made this post, and I'm actually kind of glad to see that there has been some advances on the way they're dealing with Athena.
Yeah.
So, because the direction they're going with her is evidently, hey, wow, we went too far with that.
Yeah, she's kind of bending over, and she's like,
and she's not a sexual goddess in mythology.
yeah, she's not Aphrodite.
And
right?
and actually, when I was playing earlier, I was looking at the Smite videos on Twitch that you can look at while you're in between matches and stuff, and they were showing just the line art for the new ISIS one. And it was very well done. So it wasn't too risque.
And that's just it. Like, I don't think anybody's complaining about there being some risque outfits, okay? Or even some skimpy ones. But there should be some options for some people who want to put some clothes on.
Yeah. I think the ability to choose which card shows up
Yes.
would be like, even
That's kind
if
of your avatar or
yeah,
something.
like basically if I pick one skin, I don't necessarily want the card that's associated with that skin to be put up.
Yeah.
Maybe I want just a standard card that is not the risque one.
Agreed.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, there was a big stink on Reddit about their art direction. Hi-Res E-Res came back and said her card will be changed. So they're definitely listening.
Yes.
Sorry. You should be.
They also came out with some sheets or some stats basically showing the winning percentage by God for all levels, all skills, level 30 all skill levels, level 30 high elo only, ranked high skill, and arena all levels, all skills. So, a little test here, Mr. Fullerton. Mr. Arena is what I like to call you. You know that. Who do you think
I like Arena too.
is
True. We're Arena brothers.
the top in Arena wins? God.
Ooh. Wow. Like
I'd say
wins, not kills.
Wins. Winning percentage.
wins, not kills. I'd
Wins.
say
Poseidon.
I mean,
Ares.
Poseidon.
maybe Ares. I'd say maybe even. Oh, jeez, that's tough. I'm gonna go on a crazy limb and say Neath.
Do you want to change my answer? Zeus.
Over here,
Ares.
my boy, Ares is the number one.
Oh.
At around 60, looks like a little higher than 60%.
It's not the kills that he gets, it's the fact that when he pulls everybody in and they do the ults on the group that gets pulled in, that's a lot of kills for your teammates. You don't get the kills, You get the assists.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of kills. I mean,
Well, I think he just works very well with a lot of different groups of gods.
Ares works if you're playing arena. If you have an Ares on your team, then you're going to have an advantage if the other team doesn't have an Ares.
Well, and I'm not surprised about Ares. I mean, I'm looking at the list, so it was really easy for me to figure it out.
Yeah.
But what I was surprised about is the spread. So Ares wins is about 60%.
Yeah.
Is that. The next one is Chibalanque, which is about 56%. This isn't really a straight chart, so I'm kind of gauge a little bit. The next one is Changa at about 50%, and then it tails off pretty close, 49 and 48. So between Changa at 50%, you have Ares or Chibalanque at 55, and then Ares at 60%. That seems like a huge spread.
Yeah.
It really does.
Now, you did good with that. Who do you think is the least wins?
Bakasura.
No.
Loki.
Hebo. I don't know.
Aphrodite.
I'm just going to say Bakasura. I love Bakasura, by the way. But I don't see a lot of Bakasura at all in Arena.
It is an Egyptian god.
Oh,
They
no.
change their answers.
Bastet.
It's not Neith. It's not Bastet. Is it Anubis? No. I don't know.
You want to change yours?
It's so sad.
I'm going Bastet.
I like all the
Anubis.
Egyptians.
I'm going Bastet.
I'll go Anubis.
Would you believe on her?
Really?
Whoa.
No way.
And I think I've kind of see why. He likes people in close corners. He likes to pin him against walls. He likes to keep him in his little thing.
There's not a lot of
and
walls.
arena's really spread out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's not a lot of walls to pin people against.
You see him coming, so his jumps alleviated a little bit. That's all I can think of. But he's at about 43%, and that's the lowest. So as you see, the spread is 43 to 49, like a 6% spread,
Yeah.
and then 60%. A
Well,
10% spread. That's like crazy to me.
Like today when I was playing, it got to the point because I was playing a lot of arena because I was trying to get Neith up to God rank 4. So it got to the point where every time I would get into, because I was playing a lot of pickup games other than a couple of games I played with Eric. Every time I queued up and got into a group, the one thing I was thinking in my head, because I would pick Neith immediately, other than one time I got Neith, the first thing that would pop into my head is, I hope we have an Ares.
yeah.
And if we didn't get an Ares, the next thought in my head was, I hope they don't have an Ares.
So
Yeah, that's good point.
with these stats, I now have formulated a game plan. And this game plan will do one of two things, right?
Don't
we
play on
pick
her.
the top 5 classes
Okay.
and play arena over and over again. So we'll either get a crap ton of wins or we'll really mess up their chart.
And we'll have all our gold skins on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What up now?
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm all for it.
Love it.
Okay, so moving on.
Let me know when we get to the suggestions part, because I have a suggestion.
I
excellent.
will.
Okay.
Quickly, 5 most requested changes. We're going to get to the patch notes. They're really long, and we're already running along. So,
Yeah.
the top 5 most requested changes. I'm assuming this is on Reddit. I didn't read it too well. A variety of items.
Yeah.
Punishment reward system. Teleport.
Pro or against? Pro
in
or
early
against?
game, the punishment for getting killed early has been severely decreased due to the ease of returning to your lane and not getting pushed. There was some debate whether teleport should be removed or stay in the game. So it's kind of either or. It's super soldier gods, which basically they're talking about what you kind of think of the OP gods, I guess.
Yeah.
Or they have everything in their kit: stuns, getaways, damage. Change fixed the matchmaking system, and then the honorable mention was region locking more region servers, which we never really talk about that much on here, but we don't really have problems with it, I guess.
So we haven't really talked about Thanatos. Do we want to save him for next week?
I mean, we're at 52 minutes.
Yeah, we're at almost an hour. So
Yeah.
let's kind of save him for next week.
I going back to my disconnect.
Are you just trying to
I
make
do-
the show longer?
Yes,
That's too
I do have a suggestion.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Basically-
we're not there yet. We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
We're not ending the show yet.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys were sounding like you were ending.
No,
the
no,
show.
we're ending
Like,
news. We're ending news. So the last thing in the news is there's a big charity event, High Res Studio Esports, 24-hour live streaming esports events, benefiting Child's Play, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Yep. It's at
October
Siege.
4th at 8 p.m.
It's at Siege. It starts at 8 o'clock on Friday night of October 4th and ends at 8 p.m. On October 5th. However, at the end of it, the Creatures and High Res Studio will be having a battle as part of that, which starts
And-
at, I believe, 8 o'clock.
And Wes Wilson will
And
be
I will
there.
be there.
So this is the Southern Interactive Entertainment and Game Expo. I didn't
Yes.
even know we had like a game expo.
This is
in
like
the South,
game
so.
developers. The same group that did the that I went to their meeting in Atlanta at the High Res Studios a year and a half ago. They're highly involved with this convention, and basically it's a convention for game developers. And they have keynote speakers and all that kind of stuff.
So
Sweet.
how many people go?
Oh, it's not huge. It's a industry event.
Yeah, but still, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Any parties and stuff?
no, not really. I mean, it's an
not
industry
going.
event.
I'm not going.
I will be there.
So there will be
Is it fun?
a Smite
or-
challenge there with the creatures. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'll be very
So
interesting.
I have talked with Chimney Swift. I know he is not going. I suspect.
Are we gonna name all the people not going? That might take a while.
but I mean, people who know the creatures. I believe Kutra is going, and maybe Sly Fox. So I'm gonna.
Is 50 Cent going?
No.
Oh, he's a tank.
Oh,
He
Yeah.
stacks health.
is it time for me to talk about my?
No. The last thing in the news, I'm moving this up from Hugging and Munning because we don't have any others. We might as well just combine this. A comment from High Res Bart, who works for High Res, obviously streams and does their. I guess he's their esports manager or whatever. But he said we are currently evaluating increasing clan size.
Oh.
I can't provide much detail now, but we want to make it possible for more people to group together in a meaningful way. It may be different than the current clan implementation. We are looking at some options, and we got some really good ideas from the Dead Workers Party on Smite podcast.
They said that. Awesome. Excellent. Good job. Yeah.
All good
Was that
ideas.
believable?
Threw that in there.
Did I read that
I'm
believable?
sure that was in there.
But anyway, so that's one thing I think we've mentioned quite a bit, right? Is and we
Yeah.
want bigger clan size. So anyway,
That's awesome.
that what's your suggestion? I don't even know
Okay.
what the segment
It-
is where we do that
it-
anymore.
It goes back to the disconnects. I think if you disconnect from a match,
Kicking the nuts.
good suggestion, very impractical.
Okay.
I think that if you disconnect from a match, you should have to wait till the match you disconnected from ends, at the minimum.
Well, I
Don't
think
have
you
to.
do.
Yeah,
you, do,
you can't log back in and
Yeah.
play any games until.
Yeah, because you'll automatically
I-
go into that game, right?
Yeah.
I want to go further than that.
Okay.
I think from the point you disconnected and actually go into the interface and say, leave this match, I think you should have to wait from the point you left the match to the end of that match times 2.
I think I like your idea.
Yeah.
But I'm going to suggest a new one. At some point in the next 24 hours of your play time, this is so if you log off for 4 days and don't come back, still 24 hours of your play time, you will get grouped up with 4 bots. You won't know they're bots, but they're bots. And then they'll play for however long you played for and disconnected, and then disconnect on you. Huh?
I think
And then it like you can't report them.
Karma,
It's just karma, right?
I think
And you don't know. You could play 5 matches and all good, and then all suddenly, what? These bitches disconnected on me.
Yeah.
I think we should do a combination of
That's
our
weird.
ideas. I
Yeah.
think it should be double, that you can't get into a match. Like if you ended or quit a match at the very beginning, and that match lasted 30 minutes, then that's 30 minutes times 2, so 60 minutes that you have to wait to get back into a match. And when you get back into a match, it's all bots on your team. And then right when you hit 15, level 15, everybody's around 15, all the bots disconnect.
Whoa. Some Twilight
brutal.
Zone, like
Deicide.
that's some freaky stuff.
And
like-
then you're just there by yourself going, oh, well. And then when you disconnect from that match, it just starts over again.
Yeah.
You have been slain.
it's like
It's
a
like Afro Monkey's own personal hell.
alternate
It's
universe.
like
kinda-
Inception.
like a Sliders.
Smiteception.
Yeah.
Speaking of Smiteception, you might have think that we already started the podcast for next week, as long as this one is run.
Yep.
So call us at 662-736-8260. No one does, so you'd be the first, and it'd be great. Email us, smite@deadworkers.com. Leave us iTunes reviews. Join us on our forums at deadworkers.com. And
And before we go, there was a new god this week, Thanatos. All right, ready?
Smite on!